I'm fine, and you? Miss?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you. Nice to see all of you. Nice to see you. Now, let's start with math class. We're going to work on the book. We're going to talk about multiply using distributive property. That is the topic for today. So first, we're going to watch a video, but be ready with your book. Be ready with your book because we're going to work on 2 pages. Let's watch a video. I'm going to display this video. Pay attention because that is related to the class for today. It's related to that class. So I'm going to make some questions. I'm going to make some questions after the video. So pay attention, please.
Math Grizz, today we will be using the distributive property of multiplication. 7 times 13. Since we are using the distributive property, we need to make sure that we break apart the 13. The 13 seems like a very large factor. We're going to make it more simple. We know that 10 and 3 makes 13. The next step is to make a tape diagram. We said 7 times 13. Let's go ahead and fill it in. 7 times 1, 7 times 2, 7 times 3, 7 times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7, times 8, times 9, times 10, times 11, times 12, times 13. Now, remember we said we could break it apart into 10 and 3? Well, let's go ahead and count 10 sevens first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We have 7 times 10 here. Let's write that in. Now remember, we said 10 plus 3 makes 13. So far we have 10. Now we need to do the other 3. We have 7 times 1 times 2 times 3. So now we can see that 7 times 13 is the same thing as saying 7 times 10 plus 3, because 10 plus 3 makes 13. So 7 times 13 equals 7 times 13. Now we can distribute the 7 or share the 7. We shared the 7 with the 10, 7 times 10, and we also shared the 7 with the 3, 7 times 3. Now we have 2 simple multiplication problems. We know that 7 times 10 equals 70. We also can see that at the top on our tape diagram. And 7 times 3 equals 21, which we can also see on our tape diagram. And we know if we add 70 plus 21, we get 91. 7 times 13 equals 91.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Any comments about the video? Do you understand what this 7 times 13?
No.
No? Oh.
Yes, for what?
No.
Kind of. Okay, don't worry. That is the topic for today. I'm going to explain that topic today, but that video is related to the class, so you have an idea what it's going to be. We're going to use multiplying using distributive property. As you can notice in the video, the girl was multiplying 7 times 13. She breaks the number 13 into 10 plus 3. So that is the distributive property. So let's review what is distributive property, class. So open your book on page 63. You have that information on page 63.
Find Miss the page.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Mia. Now, if you can notice here what it says, investigate, we have the definition of distributive property. It says distributive property, it states that multiplying a sum by a number is the same as multiplying each item by the number and then adding the products. That is what the girl was doing. We can break our number and then we can add it like this. Let's make it with this example. We have outlined a rectangle on the grid to model 6 times 13. So we're going to model 6 times 13 here in class. So we're going to draw here. Remember that first we're going to look for the 6 in the rows. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're looking for 6 times 13. So let's write 6 here because we have 6 rows. 6 rows. And now we're looking to model 13. So we're going to count 13 columns.
Oh, do you miss?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In your notebook, you have to do it. In your book, sorry.
Not
Page
book or
63.
book.
In your book. You have it on your book.
Yes.
Okay. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I count until 13. And I'm going to make the square. So it's going to be just all this part. The 13, 6 times 13, I have it there. Now, how can I break 6 times 13? 6 times 13, we can break number 13. It says, think of 13 as 5 plus 8. So we're going to count, we're going to have 5, 5, and 8. 5 and 8. So we're going to have it. You can use colors. You can use color to draw in the grid that you have in your book.
You listen to me.
Yes, Anna, we can listen to you now. So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have the first 5 here. And then we have 8. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we have 8. So you can color, you can use, for example, this color. I'm going to use yellow here for my first one. And for the second one, I'm going to use, it's orange. Okay, you can color it.
We're going to color. Yes, we're going to color in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can color, but remember that you have to do it in this way. You can have 6 rows and 5 columns. So the 6 rows and 5 columns you can color with one color. For example, yellow. Yes, you can color. And then the 8 columns you are going to color if we're using another one. Tell me, Rebecca.
Can I do only this part of ink, but I don't see the pencil.
Yes, don't worry. But remember to have ready with your pencil, your colors. If you don't have it right now, use the one that you have. Now, we're doing here, what we're doing, it's just drawing or modeling in this grid. We're modeling in the grid. What? We're modeling 6 times 13. Number 13, if you can notice, if you add 5 plus 8, what is the answer of 5 plus 8? 5 plus 8 equals 13. So we're multiplying 6 times 13. That is the same of having 6 times 5 plus 6 times 8. Why? As you can notice here, we have letter B. Think of 13 as 5 plus 8. Break apart the model to show 6 times 5 plus 8. Label and shade the smaller rectangles used to different colors is what we were doing. Now, if you multiply 6 times 5, what is the answer of 6 times 5, class? 6 times 5. We're going to find the
30.
answer.
30.
Equal 30. That's right. I'm going to write the answer using a different color. It's going to be 30. Okay, now we multiply to get the total that we have here, the total of the square of rectangles. We have 30 rectangles here. If you count one by one, you are going to count 30, but we're not going to count one by one. That's why we use the multiplication, 6 times 5, to know that we have 30 rectangles here. Now, we are going to multiply 6 times 8. What is the answer of 6 times 8? Who knows the answer of 6 times 8?
48.
48, that's right. Now, we have the answer of this. We have 48 rectangles in this other side. What we're going to do, we already multiply using distributive property. We multiply 6 times 5 equal 30 and 6 times 8 equal 48. Now, distributive property says that we need to add the number and then add in the product. So we're going to add the product. 30 plus 48. What is the answer of 30 plus 48?
78.
78, Fernando, that's right. 30 plus 48 equals 78. So it means that 6 times 13 is equal to 78. That is the answer. That is the answer. 78 is the answer of our multiplication. How can we get the product? We multiply using distributive property. We break number 13 into 5 plus 8, and we get 6 times 5, 30, plus 6 times 8, 48. That is equal to 78. We add the products that we get. Any question about this class? Is it clear? Yes or no? So.
Can you repeat it to this?
Yes, I can repeat it one more time. Okay, again, we have to multiply, it says. We have to multiply this, 6 times 13. We are going to use distributive property. Distributive property says that we need to multiply 6 times 13. It's the equal of having two numbers breaking, like 13. If you add 5 plus 8, if you have 5 plus 8, what is the answer of this class? 5 plus 8. Equal 13. 5 plus 8 equal 13. So distributive property says that instead of multiplying 6 times 13, I'm going to multiply 6 times 5 plus 6 times 8, because if you add this, it's the equal of having 13. So we draw here, we draw in our grid, we draw 6 times 5, because if you add 5 plus 8, it's equal to 13. So 6 times 5, we multiply, we just multiply here. 6 times 5 equals 30, plus 6 times 8 equal 48. After we multiply, we add the products. We add 30 plus 48 equals 78. And that is the answer of 6 times 13. 78 is the answer for our product using that distributive property. Yes. Okay, now another thing, remember, we're just using the distributive property. But 13, if you add 5 plus 8 equals 13, can you tell me two different numbers that you can add and the answer is 13? Think about two numbers that you can add and the answer is 13. Caleb?
10 plus 3.
10 plus 3, that's right. If you have 10 plus 3, if you have 10 plus 3, the answer is equal 13. So we can use that. Excellent, Caleb. Do you have another one, class? Which other numbers we can add and get 13?
6 plus 7.
Sian?
6 plus 7.
6 plus 7. Okay, that's right. 6 plus 7 is equal to 13. Do we have another one, Gabriela?
Yes. 8 plus 5.
8 plus 5. Okay, we already used 8 plus 5. Think about different one. 8 plus 5, we have it in the first exercise.
Okay.
What about 9 plus 4? What is the answer of 9 plus 4? It's 13. Okay, excellent. If you start thinking about, you are going to find that we can get different numbers and the answer is 13. Now, what it says here? Use a distributive property, find the product each small rectangle represents. Then find the sum of the products, record your answers. Now, what can we use? Let's use 10 plus 3, this one. Or we can use this one, 6 plus 7, or 9 plus 4. We're going to use one of these. What we're going to do, remember, we're multiplying 6 times 13. We're multiplying 6. So let's write it down here, 6, because we're multiplying 6 times 13. But instead of writing 13, we can write 6 times 10, 6 times 10, and 6 times 3, right? Because we're using the first one. 10 plus 3 is 13. So we're using this one right now. Or we can say 6 times 6 and 6 times 7. And we're going to get the same answer. Or 6 times 9 and 6 times 4. But let me clear here right now. And this one, right now, we're going to use it, this one, 6 times 5 and 6 times 8, because that is number 1. Later, we're going to use the next one. 6 times 5 and 6 times 8. What is the answer of 6 times 5, class? Again.
30.
30, so right here, 6 times 8.
49. 49. Yeah.
49?
8.
No,
48.
48. Okay, 48. If
48.
you add 30 plus 48,
78.
is the same, right? 78. That's right. That is for the exercise number 1. But as you can notice, we can multiply by 10, by 3, by 6, by 7. But we're going to do in the next part, letter C. This part is just the first one. It's the same of the first one. Now, in the second part, in letter C, you are going to model again using this example. But you are going to use either 7 times 10, 6 times 10, or 6 times 3 in the second part. Just let me know if you finished this part. Did you finish this side, this page?
Yeah, we have made it.
Yes, all of you finished?
Sorry.
All of you finished?
Yes.
Yes, Mia, yes. Okay, let's go to the next one. What we need to do, remember that we're multiplying 6 times 13. You already said that 10 plus 3 equals 13. We're going to use this one. You also said that we can have 9 plus 4 or 7 plus 8. Now, we're going to use 10 plus 3. So let's write it down, 10 and 3 here. So what we're going to do, we're going to model 6 times 13. Again, we're going to draw here. Remember that first we start with the rows. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. So I'm going to write number 6 here because I'm representing that I have 6 rows. Now I look for 10 because I'm going to use 10. So I'm going to look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 here. The first part is 10. So I can write here number 10. And I can color it. I can color it. That this is the first rectangle that I'm representing here. But also, we're not looking 6 times 10. We're looking 6 times 13. So it means that it's missing 3 more. So I'm going to use a different color. It's going to be 3 more. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be in this part. And I'm going to color this part.
Do this.
Yes, you need to do this. You need to draw it and color. We're coloring in color red here, 3. So I'm going to write number 3 here. If you add 10 plus plus 3, the answer is 13. But here I'm breaking it. I'm using the distributive property. I can find the answer of 6 times 13 but just by multiplying 6 times 13. But we're using that distributive property. So we are going to break number 13 into two numbers that we can add and to get number 13. So we can add 10 plus 3 to get 13. Now we multiply, we find the products of 6 times 10. So let's write it down here. 6 times 10, what is the answer of 6 times 10?
60.
It's 60. So it means that in this side, I have 60 squares, 60 rectangles. So I have 60, but I'm not going to count one by one. So I multiply 6 times 10. Now, what is the next thing that we need to multiply? We're going to multiply 6
times 3.
Excellent. And what is the answer of 6 times
18.
18. That's right. So we know that we have 18 color in color red here. 18. Now we already find the products. And the distributive property says, find the products, we find the products. Now we need to add the products. Which numbers we're going to add?
60 times 18.
60 plus, we're adding plus 18. What is the answer of 60?
78. 78.
Excellent, 78. So that is the answer of our multiplication. If you notice, 78 was the answer of exercise number 1. It's the same answer of exercise number 1 because it doesn't matter that we use different numbers, we get the same product. Because we are multiplying 6 times 13. Using different numbers, we were multiplying the same.
I finished my.
You finished? That's great. Questions about this class?
I finished, Miss. I finished. Copy something else.
Yes, we're going to copy something else. Questions about this class?
No.
No. Don't forget that you think about two numbers that you can add and to get 13. In this case, you say 10 plus 3. But we can say 9 plus 4, and we are going to say 6 times 9 and 6 times 4. We multiplied, we got the products, and then we add. It's the same. But in this case, we were using 10 plus 3. And we multiplied. Now, let's go to page 64. If you finish, let's go to page 64. 64. Tell me, Rebecca.
And I joined this.
Yes, you need to draw this.
Yes, I joined, but I don't have color red. Miss, I don't finish the exercise. B.
The letter B you didn't finish? Okay. Remember that you, Rebecca, you have to color. If you don't have color, later you can color when you have colors. Now, let's clear here. All of you finished this? Yes or no? No? Yes. Okay, let's clear here. Now, at the end, Fernando, I'm going to show you letter B. Letter B for you. Let's continue here.
Okay.
With making connection, page 64. It says,
Miss, I don't finish.
You didn't finish? I was asking if you finished, class. Another way to model the problem is to use base 10 blocks to show tens and ones. No, it's step number 1. We have to use the 10 blocks to model 6 times 13. We can use these models. As you can notice, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. And we have 13. We have 10 here, 10 blocks, and here we have 3 blocks. If you multiply 6 times 13, it's the same of having 6 rows of 1 10 and 3 ones. Step number 2, break the model into tens and ones. So we have 6 times 1, 10. So it means that we have 6 times 10. What is the answer of 6 times 10, class?
60.
60. And we multiply 6 times 3 ones. We just have 3 ones. 6 times 3 ones is equal to
18.
18, that's right. Is the same as the previous one. So we add the tens and the ones to find the product. We already multiplied 6 times 10 to get 60 plus 6 times 3 equal 18. 60 plus 18?
78. 78.
78, that's right. It's the same answer because it's the same exercise. So we have 6 times 13 equals 78. It says in step number 2, and this is step, the model is broken into 2 parts. We broken into 2 parts. Each part shows a partial product. You can notice here we have 2 parts. Part number 1, that is the tens, and part number 2, the ones. So we have a partial product here, 60, and the second partial product is 18. If we add the partial product, we get the complete product. Yes? Okay. Did you finish to copy this, class?
Yes, Miss, I
Yes,
finished.
Okay, let me take the attendance. Let me take the attendance. Ana, Andrea,
Present. Present.
Camila, Gabriela,
Present.
Isabela, Kiara,
Present.
Lucia, Mia,
Present.
Rebecca, Rosa,
Present.
Valerie, and Sian.
Present.
Valerie,
Present.
Alberto, Donnie,
Present.
Fernando, Hermes,
Present.
Joshua, Khaled,
Present.
Joshua,
Present.
Marcelo, Santiago Hernandez,
Present.
Santiago Chavez. Okay, remember that we don't have homework, thank you. We don't have homework in math today, but we're going to continue practicing about this. So if you finish, you can disconnect. I'm going to stay in this minute that we are missing with the people that didn't finish.
Okay, Miss, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Miss.
What copy and draw conclusion?